We find out now. Round number one, and Dre, I offer you this. Among all the analysis of what could happen in this fight that gives KellBrook hope is that Bud Crawford at times has been a slow starter. In fact, Dre, the fight we did against Egis Kavyaskis, Egis outlanded Crawford total punches over the course of the first 3 rounds. What should be Brook's approach early on?
Well, he can't get reckless, but he needs to start fast, start picking up that jab. I think Brook is realizing right now that Terence Crawford is a lot longer than he realized, and the space between, where he is now and actually hitting Crawford is a lot further than he realized. But yes, coming off 11-month layoff, being, a slow starter historically, the first few rounds, Brook wants to win those. But it looks like Brook is playing Crawford's game now. He's watching, he's studying, and I don't think he can outthink Crawford. He's got to start to let those hands go as he comes behind that left hand.
See, Brook thing is timing. That's his thing. He wants to time Crawford on the way in. Brook also has a great jab, a sharp jab, a strong jab. And you can see Terence Crawford trying to figure out how he can land his jab without getting hit. Another thing, Crawford typically comes out in the southpaw stance, but he came out in the right-handed stance, probably to confuse KellBrook.
He has power in either hand, Crawford. He has finished guys, whether it is orthodox or southpaw, but in recent years we have seen plenty of Crawford, mostly in the southpaw stance, and wildly effective in doing so. Here he comes out as a righty. And there is that jab from KellBrook as he goes to the body against the champ.
Brook jabbing extremely well right now, not just to the head, but as you just saw, also to the body.
There he throws the right hand behind it.
Brook has a brilliant 1-2. It's automatic. It's his favorite combination, but his jab right now is landing.
He just scored with it accurately upstairs against Crawford.
And that's what it's about. It's about breaking the timing and the rhythm of Terence Crawford. And you have to do that with your jab. Set it up. The power hand, which is the right hand for Brook.
Crawford looking to close that gap as he goes southpaw for a moment, doubles up the right-hand jab, and then comes with a left. Good exchange here as he switches back to righty. Fascinating first round. Going to take a short break.
Knows when to throw his jab, and at the right time, at the right distance, and at the right speed.
Funny to say that he doesn't have the reach. I mean, just look at the size advantage. Look at the size across the shoulders, across the back. Look at the muscles popping in the upper body of KellBrook, and the base he has as well, that foundation with the legs.
And see, what I noticed is that KellBrook is taking a page out of Egis Kavyaskis. He's being patient. He's waiting. He's looking to counter Crawford. He's trying to get Crawford to commit so he can make him pay.
Jab is giving Crawford a lot of problems right now. You see him thinking, and Brook is doing the right thing. He's jabbing. That's the most important thing he can do right now because it sort of keeps him out of danger. It helps him to kind of create his range and where he wants to let his shots go, and it's also got Crawford thinking. The fight's going to get interesting if Crawford is able to make adjustments. I've seen Brook have a great plan A. He's got a great boxing ability, but when fights get deep and there's time to make adjustments, like in the Spence fight, I don't see him make that adjustment. We've seen Crawford do it in the past. He's going to have to do it right now because plan A, Brook has the advantage.
Spence fight happened in May of 2017. That was the last time Brook fought at this 147-pound limit. He was fighting brilliantly, and then Spence got to him with the power and scored an 11th round TKO with a broken left orbital bone suffered.
You also want to see how Brook takes the shots of Crawford as he starts to land clean, flush shots.
Right now it's a battle of patience. Neither fighter can afford to make a mistake, and as you see, Brook stepped in just a tad bit, and Terence had combinations waiting on him.
Just fired off a right uppercut, did KellBrook.
Brook has every punch in his arsenal. He has a strong left hook. He also has a straight right hand and a beautiful uppercut. And as you can see, his jab is giving Terence Crawford problems, and Terence goes southpaw.
Crawford switches for one of two reasons. Either he sees something, or what he was doing in the right-handed stance wasn't working.
What do you suspect here, Dre?
I think the latter is true. The right-handed stance wasn't working, and he wants to see if he can get something going from the left-handed stance.
Stop. No.
And a 2 in Vegas. Opponents land just 21% of their total punches. That is #1 in the world among welterweights. So far tonight, KellBrook is landing 36% of his punches against Terence Crawford.
So don't think that KellBrook is worried about Terence Crawford going southpaw. He's not worried about that at all, because he's used to that. He comes from the Ingles gym. He's used to seeing switch hitters in his gym, guys that switch from orthodox to southpaw. It's nothing to him.
You mentioned the Ingle gym. That is the veteran British trainer Dominic Ingle, who has trained KellBrook since the start of his career. But Ingle opted out of this world title fight due to COVID concerns, because KellBrook trains in the Canary Islands for training camp. Ingle did not want to travel and then have to quarantine, nor come to the United States. So instead, Carlos Formento is the trainer in the corner of KellBrook. First time they've ever worked together.
I'll tell you one thing that the southpaw stance has done. It's taken the jab away from KellBrook. You see, he's not landing his jab consistently anymore.
Well, when Crawford turns southpaw, he's not even throwing.
That's what happens. That's what turning southpaw does. But it does allow you to land a right hand like Brook just landed on Crawford right now.
The right hand can be the best weapon against a southpaw. And of course, when he is in that lefty stance, you will see that right hand of Bud Crawford, as it is right now, hanging right over the front of KellBrook.
Listen, Crawford has the reach advantage, but he's going to have to close the distance on KellBrook. He told us in the build-up to this fight that Brook can't fight mid-range and in close. Right now, Brook is winning the battle from the outside. Crawford's got to slowly start to close that space.
There's that right lead again from KellBrook. Minute to go here in round 3. Pretty good start for the challenger, the former IBF welterweight champion. The guy who says he's rejuvenated. 3 fights since he lost the welterweight championship to Errol Spence.
That's how Errol Spence had success against Brook. He closed the distance and started to bully KellBrook. He started to fight him in close. Brook fought back valiantly, but he really didn't have any answers for that.
See Crawford having his moments there.
I see some swelling already. On the right eye of Terence Crawford, in the right hand, right down the middle, that just lands for KellBrook.
And there's a right hand from Crawford.
Way to answer that right hand.
Brook, 24 of 99 punches. Crawford, 25 of 93. Shakur Stevenson will fight December 12th in this ring against Toka Khan Cleary. Shakur, the recent featherweight champion, now contending at 130 pounds, looking for a showdown for a belt here. Round number 4.
Crawford has to continue to get his lead foot outside the lead foot of Brook to have success with his offense. That will put him in a safe position to let his combinations go. Beautiful right hand.
And the champ gets to him.
Get over here.
Just like that.
Get over here.
Terence Bud Crawford hits the
6,
gas.
7, 8. Come to me. Come to me. You all right? Yeah. Give you a chance.
One of the best closers in the game. 27 knockouts in his career. Do we have 28 right here?
This fight is also
thundering in. Look at Crawford. Vicious attack to close it.
No.
And he stares him down.
Okay. No.